I'm coming up here to explain more on the post that I share with y'all on the community page. And the title of this message today is Should We, believers and Christians, a Messiah, vote? Should we vote? What does the word of the living um, word has to say unto us? So what you see before you is a picture that I got offline, and it has government and public administration. And the root word I want you to hover in on is govern, as well as ministration, or to minister. Okay, because we do see these words. I know definitely to minister in the Bible. Okay, and we're going to explain a little bit more about govern, because we know govern is to rule or to be over, okay? To lead the people, such as a king or a judge, etc. With administration, we're looking at the root word to far as minister, that is to lead, to guide, to feed, to help, etc. Okay? So let's get right into it. First thing first, I may be sharing some copyright materials with you. Um, According to United States public law, we do have what we know as the fair use notice. So I may be sharing some copyright materials with you, as well as according to public law 97 hyphen, I believe it's 280, that the King James 1611 Bible has been recognized under the United States government as being the word of Yah. It is the word of God. And the God I'm talking about, or the El that I'm talking about, is Yahuwah. He is our Father. He is above Yahusha HaMashiach. He is also above our mother wisdom. Then what the Messiah say about wisdom, she is our mother. And such as in the gospel, he said that wisdom shall be justified by her children. Okay. So these laws are very important for us to know and to be aware of as believers. Okay. So as far as the picture, as you see, I got it from, let's go to their site. I got it from this site known as the Live While Learning Collective, the Keystone School, Government and Public Administration. Okay, so that's what I got that from, far as your picture for the video cover. And as you can see, part of their website link. Let me go back and see, can I get the website link for you? It's taking a while. Let me refresh it. There we go. So here, you could just type in the keyword of Google, and it's definitely under the Live Well Learning Collective. Okay, and just Google that, and you'll find their website. Okay. Um, the next thing that the Father want me to point out to you is that we know there are many people in the government. We know many of them are evil. Many of them are part of Satan's kingdom or Satan's government. However, Yahuwah does have his agents among them, and we'll talk more about that. So let's first get started. What led me to do this word? Okay, hold on. So let me go to that site. So on the community page, I posted this post, and y'all can read this in your spare time. But what I want to point out to you is that I taught in this post about free will. Now, those who have read the Northern Kingdom books, yes, there was books that was brought over here to Osiris. My people call it Turtle Island. Um, And what I'm speaking about is Israelites, our sacred books. And in the sealed book of Mormon, there's a book that's written by Moses known as the sealed book of Moses. And Moses elaborate more about free will. And Satan, he's an angel that was created by Yah who rebelled against Yah. He accused our Father in heaven of taking away his creation's free will. And what's so ironic, most of the time when people accuse you of something, they are actually the one doing it. Father does not take away our free will. He always give us the will to choose. Okay. Satan, however, when you look at his children, such as what you see what's going on in the media with Sean Combs, as well as many others like the Epstein Island and many others are being exposed by Yah, we are seeing how they like to control people, how they like to take away their free will, meaning that they want to take away their choices. In other words, you become a slave, you have to do as they do. So, this is very important to understand about free will. And we'll talk more about this in this word. But what I want to point out to you, there was some comments on this post that I want to share with y'all. Okay. And these comments was basically, they was concerned about my decision. I'm sorry. They was concerned about my decision. And my decision for this year that I will be voting, and it's dealing with being the righteous. We have to stand up. We have to show our faith with works. Okay. So I want to read their comment to you. And this is not to, what's the word? To take this in a negative way, because they was concerned, and I thank them for their concern. This comment comes from at Nexus 212. It says, Shalom, Sister Yitia. Thus says Yahuwah Elon, say, Sabaoth. Okay. And she gave me the scripture. She went to, I'm sorry. This person gave me the scripture and they went to Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 15. For they quoted, they said that thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom Yahuwah El shall choose. One from among thy brethren shall thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Now, I know Torah. This was dealing with the kingdom of Israel. All right. But do you also know in Torah that when you read from Bereshit and all the way up to Deuteronomy, you will learn that our people broke the covenant. And because they broke the covenant, the Father made them come under the fourth beast kingdom, as well as the first kingdom, which was ancient Babylon. The second kingdom, or the second beast, was your Persian Mede captivity. The third kingdom, or the third beast, was your Greek kingdom. And now the fourth kingdom that we're in now, which is Rome, okay? And Rome is inclusive of these ancient kingdoms, even going back to the days of Nimrod. You will learn that the Father has placed us under that kingdom, or in other words, to be captives in that kingdom. And I'm going to elaborate more why all this is so important for us to understand. So what they're quoted is dealing with the structure or the kingdom of Israel. Now, when you go further in history, we learn that a descendant of Esau or Edom, which is Herod, was under the Roman kingdom and he was placed to be over the Israelites. And this was done by Father's hand, because when you read the work of Josephus, you get the more in a detail about the prophecy of him being over the Israelites. Okay. So what this verse is pertaining to, when Israel was in line with Yah or in righteousness with Yah, they was not to have a stranger to be a king over them. Okay. However, they broke the covenant, and because they broke the covenant, they was warned about this. They would now become the tail and not the head, and now the Gentiles will reign over them. This is very important for us to walk in the whole volume of the book, not just in Torah, but also in the Old Covenant that includes the prophets, for the prophets are the extension of Torah, okay, as well as the gospel and the other sacred books. All right. So I thank you for sharing that scripture with me, because it is nothing wrong to go back and review what the living words say. So thank you. I do thank you for that. The second comment we have here, again, this is from the same one. It said that we should never in life vote for anything in Babylon. So I'm going to read to you what I respond, and I'm going to elaborate more on this topic. It said, and my response to the same person was, Shalom, thank you for your concern. However, a king was set. Even Yahusha HaMashiach shall be Lord of Lords and King of Kings. Yahuwah place us under, and there's a mistypo, so I'm going to read it how it should have read. Yahuwah place us under captivity, which includes the fourth beast, which is the fourth kingdom. Also, whatever they put into laws, the righteous must fight, for it will affect our people. Shalom. Okay, so let me elaborate a little bit more. Probably at the time when I wrote this, I think I wrote this a little bit too quickly, and I probably misread what this person was saying. So let me elaborate, and I do apologize to this person if I misread your comment in any way. So what I was basically saying, because a lot of Israelites will come, because I'm an Israelite too, will come and probably say we should have no king over us, or we should not have any Gentiles over us. Okay. When you learn the beginnings and you go into the prophet's light writings, you will learn that in the beginning, Yahuwah was the king of the Israelites. But because of their unfaithfulness, because of their hearts, they wanted to be like the other nations. So this is where the king and queens come in, okay? But as you read further in the King James 16 Bible, going in this wholeness, you see the Father allowed this, He permitted this. Even in the eternal kingdom, we are going to have kings, okay, or many leaders over many. When you look at the divine government set up by Yahuwah dealing with the kingdom of heaven, you will have Yahuwah as the supreme one, and then under him is his son, who will have the title King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And then under him will be the saints and the 144, who also will have certain leadership or offices, such as a king over many. So, everything's going to be divided up. And then after the saints and the 144, then you have the Israelites to come under them. And then after the Israelites, then you will have the Gentiles to come under them. So, and the prophets, one of the prophets that would prove what I'm saying is actually two coming to mind. First is the prophet Micah, the prophet Ezekiel, and the third one that's coming to my mind is the prophet Ezra. When you read the writings that he wrote in the Apocrypha, giving you some idea of the divine setup in the eternal kingdom. So what I'm basically saying, that the Father is going to allow kings and queens, presidents, whatever title they have, to rule. Because when you come in the whole volume of the book, even in Satan's kingdoms, there are certain laws and rules that are placed that they even have to follow. And these things have to be checked with the Father. See, everything goes to the Father. That's what I'm trying to get my brothers and sisters to understand when you come in the whole volume of the book. And if it's our due diligence as Adam to know our rights, and I'm going to get more into that of what I'm talking about. It is our due diligence. I'm speaking to the righteous. I'm speaking to the saints. And the saints are the bride of the Messiah, and the 144,000 Israelites. And also, I'm speaking to the children of Israel, to the two sticks or to the two menorahs, and they are the kingdom. I'm sorry, they are the house of Israel, which is the northern kingdom, and the house of Judah or Yahuda, and they are the southern kingdom. I'm speaking to them as well. Okay. So it's very important that we walk in the whole volume so we can understand how do we operate our faith and works in this kingdom. Because remember, the Father gonna look at our heart, our faith, and our works. Okay. So basically, that's what I'm saying unto this person. And then the most important part I want you to home in with what I'm saying. I wrote also, whatever they put into laws, the righteous must fight, for it will affect our people. And proof of this, look at the Israelites, who the world today call quote unquote blacks, or they call us Negroes, or they call us the negative byword or proverb niggas. Look at our history. If we didn't stand up and fight, we wouldn't have certain laws put in place to keep them from having us into chattel slavery. Also to keep them from our rights as Adam, being able to buy land, being able to own things, being able to drive, being able to be educated, etc. We got to come in the whole volume of the book, because when you look at the history of the Israelites, when they went into these different captivities, starting with the Babylonian captivity, Persian Mede, the Greeks, and in the Roman captivity today. Look at my ancestral history of how they had to stand up for their rights, because the enemy was planning to slaughter them or to kill them or to put certain laws into place that would greatly affect my people in a negative way. Okay, so let us begin. So I have a scripture I want to share with y'all. Oh, now I know why I'm speaking on this. And I'm going to talk about these two channels I've been watching. So let me first go to the scriptures. And I'm going to the gospel. Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 12. I want you to read that whole chapter, because everything is connected to the Bible, whether it's politics, whether it's education, whether it's prophecies, you know what I'm saying? Everything is connected to the Bible, because Yah created it. And we had the enemy to copy it and also to twist it. Okay? Because when you begin to study their laws, you begin to learn that a lot of their laws was copied from the divine government that the Most High gave unto Israel. Also, a lot of their laws was copied from the kingdom of heaven. Okay? We all have some experience with their laws, whether it's dealing with traffic laws, whether it's dealing with civil laws, etc. We all have some type of experience with the Gentile courts, their laws, and their governments. Okay? And then you begin to understand why we have to fight, because their laws do affect us in one way or another. So we cannot be ignorant of these things. Okay? This is how the enemy has deceived many and not knowing their rights, such as, for example, when it comes to vaccines, there are laws put in place for people who have certain beliefs, or they may be allergic, or whatever the reason is. There are certain laws, civil laws put into place that people can exercise their right on why they don't want to take a vaccine. Do y'all see how this all come into play? So we got to know our rights as Adam. And it all comes from the Bible. And then when you get into their laws, you know how to challenge it, because y'all, this is connected. Do you not know that whatever Satan does in his kingdom, he still has to get permission and authority from our Father in heaven? This is what many do not understand. So I'm in 1 Corinthians chapter 12 of the 1611 Bible. The chapter summary says this. It says that spiritual gifts are diverse, yet all to profit with all. So this is going to what? Build the kingdom of heaven. Remember, the Father does have his agents, his people in Satan government too. And you're going to see why. And to that end are diversely bestowed, that by the like portion as the members of a natural body tend all to the mutual decency, service, and secure of the same body. Secure means to help. So we should do one for another to make up the mystical body of Messiah. Okay? Like I said, we all have our divine parts to play, such as in the body of Messiah, we have prophets and prophetess. We have evangelists, they are male and female. We have pastors. We have teachers, they are also male and females. We have and going back to a pastor has a wife to help him with his ministry as well, or to help him with his shepherding as well. We also have it's another component, apostles. That's what I was looking for. Apostles. And yes, it can be male and female. And you'll see why in time Father will have me to elaborate more on that. Okay? But we also, when we go back to the beginning, when the Father was creating mankind, first there was the male, and the Father said he would need what? A helpmate, the female. So as you learn about these two components of Adam, the male and the female, you will learn that they was to work as one. So without having one or the other, we are not complete. You need both components. Okay? But let us keep going. So in verse 28, this is the verse I want to hold on to. I want you to home in onto. Okay? And Yahuwah has set some in the body of the Messiah, or you can say bride of the Messiah, the assembly of the Messiah. And in modern day terms, they would say what? The church. So Yahuwah has set some in the church. First, apostles. Secondary, prophets. Thirdly, teachers. After that, miracles. Then gifts of healings. Helps in governments. Underline that. Helps in governments. Diversity of tongues. So we're going to pause there. But I want you to underline helps in governments, because even I had my experience when I had to go to the beast governments. Remember, he has many offices of administrations. Okay. So when I would have to go to some of their office of administrations, the Father has his people that he would put in my path that would help me with a issue or a problem that I had with their laws. Okay? This is very important for us to understand. Very important. The next thing I know many will run to is Romans chapter 13. Again, to understand Romans chapter 13, we have to come in the whole volume of the book. Okay? I'm going there now. I'm sorry. I was going in the opposite. I was going in the wrong direction. Okay. So when we go in Romans 13, the chapter summary says this: subjection, right? That means the one to come under, right? And many other duties we owe to the magistrate. So in this kingdom, in Satan's kingdom, there is a government that has to be in place. And you'll see why. Okay, as we keep reading. Love is the fulfilling of the law. Gluttony and drunkenness and the work of darkness are set out of season, are out of season in the time of the gospel. Let me read this part again. And the works of darkness are out of season in the time of the gospel. Now, the gospel is what? We are to preach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It is coming. We are get the people ready for the next kingdom to come after the fourth beast kingdom, because the kingdom of heaven will be eternal. There'll be no other kingdom coming after that kingdom. Okay? So here I want to put out to you. We're going to read in verse 3. Remember, everything is by our Father's hand. It has to get approved. Things are set in place. Verse 3. For rulers are not a terror to good works. Underline that. Good works. When you understand what good works is, you got to go back to the beginning, Bereshit. What is good works? These are righteous works, holy works. Okay? These works are aligned to our Father's laws, to our Father's righteousness, etc. Okay? But to the evil, okay? So these rulers that are placed over us, Israelites and Gentiles, they are not to be a terror to the righteous or to good works, but they are to be a terror to the evil. Okay? And we see how our people are judged when, I want to say, when the evil do something wrong. And we notice that their punishment is more severe than those of their own kind of the Gentile nation. When we go back into Torah, we learned that when it came to the Israelites, he said, I will put these things upon you 7 times more. Oh, yeah. And when you think about, I'm talking about the ones who are unrighteous, the ones who are guilty, the ones who are evil of the nation of Israel. He does this to you to get you to stop committing evil. Now I am aware that there are righteous ones that the Gentiles judge wrongly and falsely. But Father going to take care of that, because remember, these judges that are put into place, they're going to be judged by our Father in heaven with the same treatment that they judge the Gentiles and the Israelites. Okay? Let us keep reading. Would thou then not be afraid of the power? So don't we, when we have to go in their courts, some of us are afraid or fearful of the judgment that these judges would put on us when we do something evil. Okay? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. So when we do good, we can stand before them, all right, without fear. And we can what? Chastise these judges of the law. And chastise these judges what Yah says, because his law is supreme. Okay? So what I'm saying to you, you have to exercise your faith with works. We cannot stand on the wayside and allow evil to have their way. Okay? Let us keep going. But let me read up higher too. Let me start from the beginning. Verse 1. Let every soul be subjected unto the higher powers. There is no power but of Yah. So again, this verse is confirming unto us everything has to go by Yah. Okay? The powers that be are ordained of Yah. Again, the powers that be. So the Roman Empire is ordained by Yah. They are put into place here. But Yah is going to check them of their evil doings. All right? Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of Yah, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. So as we see, if these judges that are put in place on those seats do not judge righteous in the sight of Yah's eyes, notice what is going to happen to them. Damnation. Father ain't playing. Okay, so now we're going to skip down to verse 4, go all the way to verse 3. For he is the minister of Yah to thee for good. That is their purpose, to enforce Father's laws, to keep the evil in check, and to help the good, the righteous, the holy ones. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain, for he is the minister of Yah, a avenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. Highlight that. Highlight that. This is why we got to stand up. We have to chastise them. This is why we got to know the law. So I have a warning for y'all. Let me go back here. I have a warning for y'all. There is an evangelist I've been watching. I'm still watching. I'm not telling you to follow her or anything like that, but I'm telling you to watch with discernment. I'm telling you to see what she says aligned with the Bible. But I've been watching her because she has been giving me insight and understanding about the politics and about government. And you want to check out her channel and just watch and hear what she has to say. Now, I posted a video of hers on the community page. Unfortunately, it didn't show that video, so you have to open up that page that I just showed you on why I am voting. And I put her video in that post so you can watch it for yourself. But she has been giving me understanding about these two government administration group, looking at the Republicans and looking at the Democrats. And she give the honest truth. She know both sides are evil. She knows it. But there's one that has said so many abominable things that the Father is not pleased with him. Okay? And that one that I'm talking about is Trump. Trump has said a lot of abominable things that has caused the Father to be not pleased with him, and he's going to take him down. As is written in Daniel chapter 2, the Father can raise kings up and the Father can take kings down. And she had a prophetic word about Trump. And so far, her prophetic words have been coming to pass. So listen to the prophetic word that she has to say about Trump. Because if you know anything about our Father, he's a mastermind. And what he says is like a word puzzle. For example, there was two prophets prophesying to King Zechariah, who was the king of Yahuda, the southern kingdom. And I know one was Jeremiah, and I can't remember the other prophet. I don't know if it was Ezekiel or someone else. But one prophet said to him that you will not see Babylon. And another prophet said to him that he would go into Babylon. When you hear these two prophetic words, you would think that they was contradicting themselves, but they wasn't. What happened was when King Nebuchadnezzar conquered the kingdom of Judah, they removed King Zechariah's eyes and he took him to Babylon. So both prophecies were true. He couldn't see Babylon because his eyes were removed. However, King Nebuchadnezzar still took him to Babylon. So both prophecies were true. So listen to the prophetic word. Do not jump to make a full interpretation of what she's saying, but listen and watch it how it comes to pass. So definitely check out her channel. She's been giving me more understanding. She also had reminded me of all the evils that Trump has does. And she does also talk about the evils of the Democrats, such as, I'm going to be honest, y'all, I don't know why they chose Kamala. I think they should have chose a better candidate, but it is what it is. But you have to look at the laws that they put in place. Now, far as respiration for us Israelites, We already know the Gentiles is not going to give reparations. This is why the Father's going to send his Son to put things in their proper order. Okay? But look at the other laws that they have trying to establish, such as loan forgiveness. And through her, she give us more insight on how a law is passed. So, for example, she said the reason why the law that the Biden administration want to pass has not went through is because the House rejected it, and the House was majority made up of Republicans, y'all. So even though even though the Biden administration has put laws into place that not only benefit the Gentiles, but will also benefit the Israelites. Notice how the Republican, who is what red, and red represent Edom, notice how the Republicans go against it. Okay. She also elaborate more on free will, and she's right. We cannot make people do what y'all want, do what y'all commands us to do. Father always give us free choice, just like his angels in heaven. Satan and those other angels who rebel with against him, they was given free choice, either to what subject themselves under him, or to not. So he didn't make them to worship him either. So that's the same with us, Adam. So I like how she give us more insight on that, and she's right. So the Democrats does make laws to give people free will, free choice. However, the Republicans and Trump are pushing laws that go against free will and free choice. Okay. So another channel I've been watching, like I said, I've been watching them, and I got a red flag about them. I've been watching Henry and Monique, okay? Henry and Monique. And the red flag I got today, actually I got two red flags. Video that they did. The first video that you see is Elon Musk confession is blowing up. Hope they don't take it down, okay? Oh no, hope they don't take this down. If you know anything about Elon Musk, he is very evil. Very evil. And he is very rich. It's not by righteous works that he is very rich. And y'all need to do more research about Elon Musk. When I saw that Elon Musk made a large donation to the Trump administration as well as to the Republicans, y'all need to raise your ears up, just like an animal. Raise your ears up, pay attention. Why would Elon Musk support Trump and the Republicans? Y'all need to look at that. Evil support evil. Another red flag from Henry and Monica is that she had two dreams about Trump. Must watch before they take it down. Live video. And what I'm telling y'all, go watch the whole video, because I'm not going to give you all the details of what they said. You need to watch for yourself. But what read to me, what she said about the dream, she said Trump won the election. That was not the red flag for me. The red flags are what she said after that. She said, however, they're going to lie and said that he did not win the election. Y'all, that's not true. That's not true. We have already seen how Trump and his supporters have been spreading a lot of misinformation that is not true. Even her dream is going to lead people to partake in another insurrection if Trump doesn't win. Do y'all see what I'm saying? It's not lining up. It's not lining up. At this time, I support and I believe evangelists Keshonda Board, prophetic messages. I do not believe in Monica dreams, two dreams that she had about Trump. For the red flag for me was she said, according to her dream, that they are going to lie and say that he did not win. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Like I said, keep watching. Another red flag for me, because I know Monica's husband, Henry, is from the continent of Africa. I believe he's from Nigeria. I'm going to try to find that video because it's been a while since they post that video out. They acknowledge who are the Israelites, which is us, the ones that they call quote unquote blacks, the ones that they call quote unquote Negroes. And the red flag for me, and I don't think I shared that video because I'm like, your husband is from the continent of Africa. The people on the continent of Africa know who they are, and they also know who we are. Why is it now you just telling people? Is you just telling because you're noticing through the YouTube algorithm that most people are sharing that truth? Even false prophets are sharing that truth. Mrs. Celestial, she is a false prophetess. She has the satanic symbols on her prayer shawl, which is the star of Saturn, and the fish that goes to Dagon. You got to know your Bible. The Bible talks about these things. Or the star of Raphael. Yeah. I'm going to see can I find that video. If not, I may post it in the video description box. But I do know when I saw that video, I was kind of questioning because, like I said, the reason why I questioned, her husband's from the continent of Africa, y'all. And I believe he's from the country Nigeria. But on their channel, they do say where he's from. But this check behind me, he ought to have that knowledge. But why all of a sudden now you want to come out with that information is because of the algorithm on YouTube, so more views can be on your channel. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that I'm questioning. Okay. So for me, when I saw that video, I had a question mark on that. Let me see. Let me see. Can I do a search? I'm doing a search. Like this is one, I don't think I watched that one. Barbarian Igbo Dream from the Lord, fulfilling of Hebrew tribes. But that's not the one I watched. Another one is All the Hebrew Igbo Must Watch. That's not the one I'm talking about. Let me see. And I'm just seeing now that video was 2 years ago. That one was 2 years ago. And this one was 4 years ago. Well, that's not the video I'm talking about. Because yeah, it came out this year by them. It was this year. Let me see, can I refine the search? Also, the evangelist Keisha on the board had the information on why, what's that pastor name? Evans had to step down. No one else knew that but her. She had the actual um information on that. Check it out. Let's see here. I'm gonna try to find it, y'all. If it's taking me a little bit too long, I may just have to put that video in the video description box. But yeah, they did a video this year dealing with who are the children of Israel. And okay. Oh yeah, this is it. Who Are You? By Stephen Darby Ministries, Henry and Monica. And this was done 3 months ago. That is the video I watched. And I had a lot of questions, like question marks that was coming from my belly. And we know in the belly, known as the gut, this is where your spirit man is. So something was not selling right with me on that video. Okay. So now that I went over that part, let me go through the whole volume to show you that Israel does partake in the Gentiles' government to ensure that the wicked don't get out of control. And so also to ensure that our rights are enforced, because you got to know your rights. This is why how Satan get a lot of people in the corner, making them think they don't have a choice, but they do. So you have to know your rights. In other words, you have to know the laws. You have to know our Father laws, and you have to know their laws, because the Gentiles copy the Father's government. Oh, yes. Now, the next thing I'm going to look up is the part with how a law is passed, so you can understand what the president role is, what the House role is, and it's another component. I'm going to look it up, because I remember back in the day when I was in school, we had social studies, and we talked about how how a bill becomes law. And it's very important for us to understand these things before we start blaming certain government officials, okay? Because their government is also set up from the format of the Romans government. Remember, they had a Senate, all right? So that way it's not under dictatorship, okay? And Father's telling me to remind you about the colors. Remember, red represent Esau, Edom. That's what the Republicans represent or stand with. And the Democrats are blue, representing Jacob. All right. So let us keep going. Let me look at this. So everybody can be reminded before we start blaming people. Here we go. This is the chart I'm looking for. This comes from the Texas Legislation 101, Texas and Maine. But how things work is, make sure you see, it starts with a need for change. So like when we see things happening like disasters and they don't have certain laws put into place, then they would create a bill to become a law to help people during these disasters. So if I'm reading this correctly, that we have a House and a Senate, and then your president has to sign off the things. This is not the correct chart that I'm looking for, but okay, legislative process. This is what I'm looking for. the United States legislative process, how a bill becomes a law, American government. This is where I'm getting this from. So you see, we have a Senate and a House. And this is why it's so important, why we want the majority of the Democrats to be in the House and the Senate. Because when you start looking at the laws that the Republicans agree to, you will see that it's a negative effect on Israelites and Gentiles. It also go against our Father's laws, commands. It also go against free will choices. Okay? Because even remember, in the image of Yah, we do as Yah do. We are the same as our Father in heaven. The Father give us a choice whether we want to worship Him or be under His subjection or not. And the same was with the angels. So we can't make people to worship Yah or to keep His commandments because they have free choice. All right. Just like when you was out there, you had free choice until you was ready to come in. All right. So we have to do the same for our brothers and sisters. If our Father does it for them, then we have to do the same as Him because we are made in His image. So we do as He do. Okay. So this is very important. This is why we can't just bring whoever holds the present position. We have to get to the root of the matter. We have to see who voted for this bill that became a law that has a negative effect on Israelites and Gentile. For we are the sons and daughters of Adam. Do y'all see where I'm coming with this? And this is where the evangelist board go in. She gives you the more insight, the more details, and she tells you how you can look up these things because we got to be knowledgeable. We can't be ignorant anymore. We can't go by history anymore. We have to look these things up for ourselves. And when we still don't get an answer, that's when we have to go before our Father in heaven, go before Him and pray and fast and meditate. Give us understanding of these things, Father. Now you're seeing why I'm vote, because it's about faith and works. Whether the Democrats get in or not, I know I did my part for the ones who would do what is right in the sight of our Father's eyes. Okay? Because even if Trump get in, y'all, I know the Father's going to take care of that. But me being a believer, me being a Messianic Jew, okay, or Messianic Israelite, or we say in the Hebrew tongue, Mashiachim, Nazrim, okay? Me being a believer, I have to fight for what is right. I have to fight for what is good in my Father's eyesight. So I'm going to exercise my right to vote. Now I'm going to walk y'all through the whole volume of the book dealing with governments. Look at Daniel. Daniel was very much involved in the governments of Babylon and the Persian Medes. Okay? He did what God told him to do, especially with dealing with the dreams. Also, look at Esther during the time of the Persian Mede. Mordecai went to her because she would have a great influence on the king. But what if Esther didn't choose to do it? Then her people would have been slaughtered. Also, in the Maccabees, I think it's the third or fourth book, talks about the Israelites in the under the subjection of Ptolemy, dealing with Egypt. Look what they did. They stood up for their rights of being slaughtered by elephants, and they believe in Yah. Also, look at the different kingships, like David and all them, dealing with government. I mean, we got to understand what government is. We got to learn about it. Okay? And the reason why it's so important to learn about it, because we are in the fourth beast kingdom. We're in Rome, so we got to know their laws. And we got to bring the Bible in because they recognize the Bible being the word of Yah. You got to know your rights. Adam, speaking to Israelites and Gentiles, the males and the females. You got to know your rights. You got to know law, whether it's the laws of Yah and the laws of the Gentiles. And you have to check them and challenge them on it. Because when you are ignorant, they will run over you. They're not going to tell you your rights because you need to know your rights. That's how Satan works. Okay? So get yourself familiar on how a law is created. Because it's not the president who is the one, how can I say this? It's called checks and balances to prevent things that are evil to be passed. And Trump is a person that going to overturn these things. His heart is very evil. Look at how he did the immigrants who was at the border and how he took their children from them. And still to this day, they don't know where these children are at. Evangelist Board also share how Trump pocketed the money that was given unto his administration to build a wall. Well, why was not the wall completed during his administration? And where was these funds? And there's many other things we can go on about what he said that are evil and abominable to our Father. This is why we got to vote. He's trying to take us backwards and not forward. Israelites. This is why we have to vote. Okay? We got to stand up for what is right and what is wrong. Okay? He's a man that do not have a love or a divine love. I'm talking about a Yah love for the Israelites, the Hebrews, that the world today call Negroes, blacks, niggers. Do not be deceived. Okay? Also going through the Bible, look at Paul. Paul exercised his Roman citizenship, where I think there are, y'all check behind me, where Paul told them, you sent me to Rome to be judged. He didn't want to be judged by his own people. That tells you a lot. Even Paul exercised his citizenship because, Paul was the expert of the law. He was under the Pharisees' sack. And Paul told him, quick, you send me to Rome. So that tells me a lot. Even the Messiah told us to give what belongs to Caesar and give what belongs to Yah. Go back and look at what he says when we're dealing with the governments of this world. And I just gave you what Paul said in the book of Romans dealing with the governments of this world again. And this word is telling us if they are doing righteousness or goodly works, we can support that. But if they are going against Yah, we can't support that because now they are operating or they are sinning or transgressing they are sinning or transgressing against Yah. Forgive my tongue. This is why it's so important. We got to come in the whole volume of the book. You got to know your rights and you got to know their laws so you know how to challenge them. So you can do what is right in our Father's eyesight. So we got to stand up. So to sum everything up, dealing with Henry and Monica, when I start, listening to some of their videos, my red flag for them is those two videos dealing with Elon Musk and dealing with Trump with her two dreams. I cannot support that. I cannot. Trump is evil. Elon Musk is evil. And you have to ask yourself, why does sudden Elon Musk is supporting Trump? Remember Bereshit, the beginning, the serpent and Eve. Why was the serpent able to convince Eve to sin and transgress against Yah? For the serpent mixed truth with lie. Now, this man has spoken a lot of lies. I'm not saying Kamala haven't spoken lies, but this man has spoken so many lies that they are abominable to our Father now. It has gotten up to him and he's sick of it. This man is very evil to the utmost, where the Father has a prophetic word against him. And that prophetic word was given through his evangelist Cassandra board. Check it out. She knows things that only could have been revealed by Yah. Check it out. So that's my red flags with them. I'm like, something ain't right about them. I had that feeling when I started watching them. I didn't know what it was, but now I got my answer. I cannot support them, cannot support their channel whatsoever. Okay? I want to make that clear. Far as Cassandra, I'm still watching. And with some of the videos that I watched from her, it has fed my soul. And it has given me understanding when we're dealing with governments, politics, laws, and why we cannot just turn our back to it. We cannot be ignorant of these things. We have to pay attention. We have to stand up. That goes along with our faith it works. So I'm letting you know, this is why I'm voting, to stand up for what is right and wrong, what's going to have a positive effect on our people. I'm talking about our people. I'm talking about to the believers, whether you are Israelite or Gentile. We got to stand up for what is right, so we can be righteous, so we can be good in our Father's eyesight. So I choose to vote. Remember, free will. Just the same for you. You can choose whether you want to vote or not. But I'm telling you, we got to stand up for what is right and what is wrong. We got to. In all areas. Because one thing I learned about my father, he have his agents in all areas. And as we see, he got his people too in the governments of Satan, helping the righteous to fight, to win. Just like he got his agents among those in Hollywood. He got his agents in the music industry. He got his agents in those wicked assemblies that speak against the word. They're there doing what he tells them to do, to prophesy against, or to give them a warning or whatever. Father got his agents too everywhere. So, my brothers and sisters, you have free will. You can choose what you want to do. But I'm going to exercise my right to vote. And I'm going to do what is right in my Father's eyesight. And I'm too is going to fight against evil, because enough is enough. We got to stand up. Stand for Yah. Stand for what is right and good in our Father's eyesight. For the Father has placed us to be captives. This is his prophetic word. This is his command. he had put us in the captivity of the Roman Empire, which was prophesied unto our forefather, which is Abraham. And I know why he did it. I know why the Father spread the Israelites. Because he's a mastermind for those that converted and believe in Yahusha HaMashiach and follow his teachings, follow the gospel. We were dispersed throughout the four corners of the earth to convert the Gentiles who are called by his name. Like I said, nobody knows the mind of God. It goes deep. So you can choose to do nothing. You can choose to turn your back in this world of darkness. Or you can choose to fight and to stand what is right and good in our Father's eyesight. All right, continue to preach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, for it's truly at hand. Make sure the people receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10. And if you have no one to baptize you, you can baptize yourself. You can adhere. This is where you exercise your faith with works. For the heavens, the earth, and the water are a witness unto Yah. And they can testify on your behalf of coming into the covenant with Yah. Ain't this awesome? Oh, and the same is with the Holy Spirit baptism. If you have no righteous apostle near you, then all you have to do is ask in the name of Yahusha HaMashiach, and our Father will give it unto you according to your heart, your faith, and works. Love you all. And I'm going to post this link in the video description box on how a bill becomes a law, because we need to understand these steps so we know who to blame, so we can make sure that these unrighteous people won't get back into office. And to let the people know this too, everything is going to happen according to Yah to bring in what is yet to come. So it's not going to affect what is yet to come, y'all. We have to do what is right in order for the what yet to come to come. You understand what I'm saying? We cannot do nothing. We got to do something in order for the what yet to come to come. Love you all, and shalom. That's okay. If that's what you decide, but I'm letting those who want to, I'm letting them know that y'all got your back. All right. Love you all, and shalom.